Exposure to extremely cold temperatures can lead to hypothermia. This winter, Fairfax County's hypothermia prevention program continues to serve hundreds of people needing shelter. Last year, more than 700 families were helped. The Fairfax County government, faith groups, businesses, civic organizations, and volunteers collaborated in a unique partnership to provide warm, safe places where those with nowhere else to go could stay overnight. In the continuing effort to do more for those with less, the county is moving forward with its long-term strategic plan to prevent and end homelessness within a decade in the Fairfax Falls Church community.
Following the community summit to end homelessness, 4 regional dialogues were held to collect further input from homeless people, faith communities, businesses, nonprofits, and government. The discussions focused on the prevention of homelessness, new models for support, and housing options. With input from every sector and jurisdiction in the community, the Planning Committee focused its work that summer on developing key strategies and objectives for effecting change. The synopsis of strategies was presented to the Community Council on Homelessness and the Community Forum on Homelessness in October 2006, and to the community at large through regional meetings and website circulation. The Fairfax Falls Church area is an affluent community with abundant resources, high medium income, and expensive housing. However, the supply of affordable housing to meet the needs of the lowest income families and single adults is sorely inadequate. Many factors contribute to homelessness in our community. It is often hidden from view, with single adults camped in wooded areas and families moving among relatives and friends, or in and out of motels, until they're able to enter the homeless shelter system and begin the long road back to being housed. In February 2007, the Board of Supervisors endorsed the strategic plan and its Housing First approach and called for the creation of an implementation plan. Writing of the implementation plan was led by a 95-member board-appointed committee tasked with recommending specific actions to achieve the goal. During the implementation committee's year-long deliberations, it became dramatically clear that service providers, whether from government, nonprofit, or faith communities, were unanimous in their view that limited affordable housing options have resulted in longer and longer stays in shelters, little movement of the homeless population from transitional housing to permanent housing, and few permanent alternatives for low-income families and high-risk individuals with serious psychiatric disorders, chronic substance abuse issues, or other special needs. In November 2007, a draft plan was presented to the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors and the community for further input and review. On March 10, 2008, the annual message from the Community Council on Homelessness emphasized the community's commitment to ending homelessness in the Fairfax Falls Church area.
Much work has been done to reach out to all sectors of the community to ensure that our plan is a good one. The homeless men and women with whom we spoke expressed a strong desire to work. None of them were there with their hands out. Homelessness and affordable, appropriate housing are inextricably interwoven. In the coming years, new resources, both public and private, will need to be developed, especially if we're to have adequate, affordable housing for those with the very lowest incomes.
On March 31, 2008, The Fairfax County Board of Supervisors approved the implementation plan to prevent and end homelessness in the Fairfax Falls Church community.
We committed at the summit at Freddie Mac, and I was pleased along with Supervisor Hudgens to help co-chair that effort, to adopt a goal of the ending of homelessness in 10 years. This board adopted that goal. And we asked our faith partners and our nonprofit partners and our for-profit partners to help us think through how do we implement that goal. That's what's in front of us. This is the work that's been put in front of us.
The implementation plan, now approved by the Board of Supervisors, is based on the principles of a new approach called Housing First. Housing First is a practical and cost-effective solution. It places people in stable housing as rapidly as possible. Housing becomes the first step in moving out of homelessness, not the last.
Well, as the name suggests, rather than putting homes at the back end of the pipeline, we put homes at the front end of the pipeline. So those who are homeless or in danger of becoming homeless have safe, secure, affordable homes, a stable environment in which they can grow and succeed, and also if they happen to be families, the children are in a much better position there too. We're dealing with individuals, we're dealing with families, we're dealing with people who have different desires, different needs, but I think that where possible it should be near transportation, near shopping, near schools, if there are children involved, and of course employment opportunities. Many of the homeless work, and many more would like to work.
What's behind Housing First is simply, at a very practical level. If you're someone who has been through homelessness or at risk, it is so much better if you can be sitting in your own home, talking with advocates, with case managers about what the need is. What we're trying to do is say, let's not, when you are a mother, you're in an institutional setting at a shelter, that is not the best place to begin to think about the future. At that point, it's only about survival. So the whole Housing First plan lets us work with families in their own home, lets them know that their children are going to be safe and have a place to sleep at night, and then we start tackling the harder issues.
As the Fairfax Falls Church community begins to implement its 10-year plan to prevent and end homelessness, a review of the overall 2008 point-in-time survey showed a slight increase in the number of homeless individuals and families in the Fairfax Falls Church area from 1,813 in 2007 to 1,835 in 2008. Nearly 60% of all homeless were families, with 66% of adults in these families employed. Out of all homeless people, 36% were children, and 75% of these children were under the age of 12. Imagine for just a moment what life must be like for homeless individuals and families. It doesn't matter how they got there. What matters is compassionate communities willing to change their perspective on homelessness, helping people who, like you, don't want handouts, only a chance to help themselves and their families to live a better quality of life. For more information on the 2008 point-in-time survey and the 10-year plan to prevent and end homelessness, visit www.fairfaxcounty.gov/homeless.